safe.
What concerns, if any, do you have about trying to keep the momentum through having a week off now after a bit of a winning streak?
Just making sure guys continue with the same intensity we've been coming with day in and day out in practice, making sure we have that high level of focus. That's the biggest thing.
Tom Brown said he thinks about that Penn State loss every day, and Coach has said that he hears that a lot from him.
Yeah.
How much do you as a player think about that loss last year?
It's the week, so you got to think about it now. Prior to that, we were just focused on the games at task, but now it's Penn State week. You got to think about that. I'm pretty sure they're thinking about it, and they're going to try and flow off of that momentum, and we're not going to let that happen.
Playing in their place is such an advantage for them. You have them here at home. How much will that be an advantage for you guys?
As much as we make it. We need the fans to be involved. We're going to be involved, and we still got to do our job and play the game.
What's allowed the run game to be so effective this year?
Our linemen. It starts up front with them. They've been doing a heck of a job, making sure they know their assignments, studying the playbook, asking questions when needed, and just making sure that they're playing their best ball.
And then how about for you?
Just stand to the course, following my linemen, following the fullbacks and tight ends, and just trusting my talent.
How much different does it feel with your offensive line from this year compared to last year?
Yeah, those guys are on top of it. You see them pancaking guys. They're dominating their man across the opposite side of the ball, and you see the will and want to be dominant.
In what ways does Chase lead this team with his play and his personality?
Yeah, he brings great intensity out on the defense, and he's working hard each and every day, doing that shit to make sure he's on top of his stuff, and whenever he's out there, you never know what's about to happen.
Would being on top in the Big Ten East change anything about your mindset?
No, you got to take it with a grain of salt because anything can happen. So we still got to play our games and make sure we win out.
How much do you look at the schedule, though, and go, okay, we get through Penn State, maybe we start looking at Ohio State? Is there any part of that creep in?
No, you don't. That's the worst thing you can do because then you start sleeping on teams and then you fall into a trap game.
How do you kind of maintain momentum through a bye week like that?
Yeah, just make sure you stay on top of it. Coach calls it an improvement week, and that's exactly what it is. You still come in and attack it just as if you have a game.
Would you have rather had a game?
Probably. I missed it that Saturday, waking up and not realizing that. Realizing that I didn't have a game was like, whoa,
What did you do with your free time?
Watch football. I watched every game that Saturday.
A couple of years ago, when Michigan was moving up in the rankings, Harbaugh told you guys to embrace it. He wanted you to keep looking at it. Is that the same approach this time?
No, we haven't even talked about it. Obviously, we're human. We know what it is, but we don't focus on that. We just focus on the task at hand, and right now that's really taking care of Penn State.
Is it too distracting, you think, too?
It can be. It most definitely can be. It can be a major distraction because people get comfortable and they feel like they've done enough to, justify what we've done, and that's definitely the wrong approach.
You know this team pretty well. Is it a team that will get comfortable looking at rankings?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We've attacked this year completely different, making sure we focus on each individual game, as I've said time and time again, and we've done a great job of that and been producing.
So are you going to watch when they unveil the playoff rankings?
Nah.
You're not even going to pay attention?
It don't even matter. We got 4 more weeks left. So.
You're not too far off from your rushing total from all of last year. Talk about how that's been upgraded, the overall running game.
Credit to the guys in front of me. Just trusting what they're doing, trusting the holes that they're opening up, and just following my talent, trusting the play calling, and just doing my job.
That's fair, but are you doing anything better yourself behind that line?
Yeah, being more patient, being a bigger playmaker. Sometimes if something's crowded, finding that little hole to get through and squirt through, and just trusting everything.
You said after Michigan State game, it was like you were checking off boxes. The people were questioning, can you win a big game on the road? Can you do this? Can you do that? What are you hearing now? What do you think people are questioning about this team at this stage?
I don't know. I haven't looked, have I heard anything? It's been silent, Everyone's kind of like, whoa, this can really be a playoff contending team. And that's kind of the shift in momentum that we want. We want to demand our presence, demand our respect, and we just got to keep going.
When you watch other teams play, like the best teams in the country, how do you feel like you stack up against them?
Everybody's good. You know, there's a lot of great teams out there. Some have different schedules than we have. I feel like we've had a very strong schedule to justify our play, but ultimately, we still got to play a game. So.
Have you made yourself more of a downhill runner in basketball?
Say that one more time.
Have you made yourself more of an aggressive downhill runner?
I feel like I've always been downhill, pretty downhill. I've never really been the bounce everything type runner, outside runner. I'm definitely an outside runner as well. I feel like I have a great balance, but I feel like I've always been a downhill runner as well.
Who's the architect of the Revenge Tour? Was that Chase? Did he come up with that, or?
I believe so. I wouldn't have an idea, but I believe so. I would put it on him.
Is it a rallying cry? I mean, I think Devin Bush was wearing a shirt. And
I wouldn't know, but he sounded like he would do something like that.
Do you have one of the shirts?
I don't.
Is there something about having lost to a team the year before that you just kind of tuck away and think about on a week like this?
Yeah, you have to. You have to, because that's the last time you played them. And you only get one shot. We only have one shot this year to play Penn State. And ultimately, you know, we want to come out as winners.
And when you have checked that box, is that almost a more satisfying win?
Yeah, in the moment. And then we got to prepare for Rutgers.
not suggesting you had second thoughts, but you talked in July about being a few yards away from 1,000. Maybe you would have gone. When you think about your decision to stay, what do you think right now?
I never second guess myself. I made the decision, and it's up to me to make it a right decision. I've made it a right decision.
In what way?
Just my production, you know, the relationship I've increased with my teammates, the coaches, and I'm around a great group of guys. And we're playing some great football right now, and there's nothing more rewarding than that.
As a captain, what are some specific ways that you've tried to lead so far this year?
Being more vocal, holding guys to a high standard, making sure that we're all on the same page, and that I'm not just playing and leading through my play, but being vocal, making sure guys are on top of their stuff, keeping that focus, keeping that high energy, and just making sure every game is taken with, you know, some power.
Karan, has there been a time in practice when you knew the way the hit felt that it was Chase tackling you?
He hasn't tackled me in practice. But to go off that, he's definitely a hard hitter. He's a great player. He's a great player, one of the best in the country, and you know he's showing that.
Is there, Coach Harbaugh was saying he's not too big into animal analogies in regards to Chase, but he said he was playing like an animal. So you got any animal suggestions, what type of animal he would be?
He's a man of his own kind. A man of his own kind.